We are in 1983. The American video game industry is not just sick, it's dead. A $3 billion industry has collapsed into a $100 million puddle. Atari, the titan, is hemorrhaging money. They're literally burying thousands of unsold ET game cartridges in a New Mexico landfill. It's over. Retailers won't touch a video game. The fad is done. But on the exact same day, in July, halfway across the world in Japan, a little red and white plastic box launches. The family computer, the Famicom. It cost about $150, call it $470 in today's money. And nobody knows it yet, but this toy is about to stage one of the greatest economic comebacks in history. Initial sales in Japan are a rocket ship. 500,000 units sold in 2 months. Then, disaster. The systems are freezing. So the company president, Hiroshi Yamauchi, makes a call that would be unthinkable in today's world of software patches and quiet apologies. He orders a complete product recall. It cost them $500,000, a massive sum for Nintendo back then.
His message was clear: quality first, always. It worked. After fixing the chip, the Famicom became unstoppable. By 1984, nearly 1 in 5 Japanese households had one. But Yamauchi knew the real money wasn't just in the box, it was in the games. So he let other companies make games for his system, but with a catch, a big one. Nintendo would control manufacturing. They'd take a 30% fee on every single cartridge sold. And to prevent the flood of garbage games that killed Atari, he limited publishers to just 5 titles a year. Yamauchi famously said, "Atari collapsed because they gave too much freedom. There would be no freedom here. This was a walled garden, 40 years before Apple perfected it." One publisher complained about the terms. Yamauchi's response was ice cold. "If Namco doesn't like our terms, they're free to make games for other platforms. Let's see how that works out for them." They signed. Then came the killer app, a game from a young designer named Shigeru Miyamoto, Super Mario Bros. It would go on to sell over 40 million copies. Now, for America, the market was still a toxic wasteland, so Nintendo performed a magic trick. They didn't sell a video game console. No, that name was poison. They put the Famicom in a new, boring gray box that looked like a VCR and called it the Nintendo Entertainment System. It wasn't a toy, it was an appliance, and America bought it. By 1988, the industry that was worth a paltry $100 million was back to $2.3 billion. Nintendo didn't just have a piece of that pie, they were the pie. They had a 70% market share. By 1990, Nintendo games accounted for 80% of all video game sales in North America and over 90% in Japan. It was near total domination. Think about that. We're obsessed today with disruptive tech and unicorns that change the world. But this wasn't disruption. This was a resurrection. A company that started out making playing cards took a buried, forgotten industry and through brutal quality control and even more brutal business tactics, created the model for the $200 billion behemoth we know today. Every time you download a game from a controlled digital storefront, you're living in the world that Nintendo built. They didn't just play the game, they wrote the rules. But the Game of Thrones in the video game industry had just started. Now, if you enjoyed this video, try this one. We hope you like it too.